Alright, let's get it. Welcome to Knocked Up After the Shot, where we take a shot and then I talk about outdoors and hunting. Except for I'm not taking a shot. We are in full prep. I'm doing this episode, and David and I are actually in the field. We're bear hunting right now. So currently we are in full prep for bear season. First time we're going to Arkansas, so we're not drinking. So Knocked Up After the Shot is not going to be a shot. But there's going to be a shot. We're just shooting arrows instead of whiskey. But we're getting there. I don't have anybody with me. Just me, riding solo dolo. And like I said, we're not doing any alcohol. So today we're talking about black bear hunting, survival, and backpacking. Only because I've spent the last 2 months of my life devoted to trying to figure this out and do a good job. So first thing, we'll kick things off with the trivia question from last week. Last week's trivia question was, what is the most accurate way to age a white-tailed deer that is not on the hoof? Now I did preface, if you didn't know what on the hoof meant, on the hoof is like looking through binoculars and you see him. I'm talking about a deer you walked up on, smoked him, got him hanging up ready to quarter. What is the most accurate way to tell how old that deer is without a DNA test? Answer: through the examination of the lower jaw molar. So, more molars it has, more years. You get the first couple, 1, 2, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, 6 years, it just keeps going back. You can also tell by the age and wear on the molars themselves. I mean, if they're dull, they've been rocking some sage, some corn, that's an old deer. But anyway, that's the answer to the question. That's off the hoof, the most accurate way to do so. Yeah, there's plenty of ways to do it on the hoof. He's got a big neck, blah, 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 but I'm talking about open the jaw of saying that deer's 6 years old confidently. That's the way to do it. Thanks, Jim Folkrod. Teach me how to do that. Next, Razor's Edge, events of the day. First one, Montana Fish and Wildlife Parks have scheduled a special archery-only hunting season. Da-da-da, da-da-da. The agency plans to hold this season in order to reduce the number of mule deer in the town of Roundup. Roundup, cool name. You win. The season will run from November 5th to February 15th, and the price of the first... Who wrote this? Oh, I wrote this. The price of the first comes, first served license. Wow, we are starting strong. And we're running $10 for a resident or $75 for a non-resident. So basically what they're saying is the town of Roundup has way too many mule deer, and we need them gone because they're a nuisance. So pay me $10 and you can shoot some. I don't see the problem. We do this in the States, over in New York, Pennsylvania, Maine, Washington, D.C. White-tailed deer are a nuisance. They carry Lyme disease up there, and people want them off their property and their crops. So Montana Fish and Wildlife took a page out of that book and said, hey, we got a problem with mule deer over here. Who wants to pull the string? I do. $75 in it. Next, Arkansas Game and Fish Commission enhances wildlife conservation plan. The plan states to improve habitat on land and water, increase public areas, recruit and inform outdoor enthusiasts to take advantage of wealth and resources. This plan increases the budget of Arkansas Game and Fish by $229,437. Why it's not a round number, I don't know. That's for the next fiscal year to help from a grant from the Department of Homeland Security. I like it. More money into hunting and conservation. I read through this. I don't see a problem. Sounds great. Thanks for $250,000, Homeland Security. Let's get it. Alright. Back to black bear hunting. So we're going to Arkansas. I mean, currently we're in Arkansas. Well, I mean, currently I'm in Texas, but when this podcast comes out, I'll be in Arkansas. Oh man, let me go back on the last 2 months of my life. Had a baby. Knew I was going black bear hunting. Read several books. Went to several seminars. Did some YouTube research. Trying to figure out where I'm going to go on Onyx. Did some e-scouting. Did some survival pack list stuff. Backpacking. Bought some stuff. It's been a whirlwind of trying to be prepared for this. And guess what? I'm still not prepared. But at some point, you gotta pull the parachute string and let's ride, you know? So we'll be in Arkansas doing black bear. It's the first time going. Things I don't know. I don't know where they're going to be. Yeah, the book tells me they like white oaks and acorns, berries, and water. And I know where those things are at on e-scouting. But that doesn't mean they're going to be there. Hunting is not a sure thing, especially when you've never been to a place. Public land, wildlife, wilderness area in Arkansas. We don't know the terrain. Are there going to be other hunters there? What's safety like? This is a first backcountry hunt. Do I have backpacking stamina? That's another thing in those 2 months. Been working out. Hiking with pack on. Lifting weights. Running. You're not just going to throw a 35-pound pack on and run through the woods for 6 days. I promise. I don't care who you are. Make sure you're working out if you're going to do something like this. And we made sure we did. So I think we're prepped. We're ready to go there. I feel good physically. Feel good equipment-wise. I'm nervous that we're not going to see anything. Yeah, I just don't know. I feel like I've done everything right, and that's when it sucks the most, is when you know you've done everything right, and then when you turn around and you're like, I don't know, and you start second guessing yourself. I've done everything right. I know where we're going. Now let's hope we see some bears. First strategy we're going with is we're going to try to glass. Now, it may seem obvious, but on the same token, it's hard to glass Arkansas. I don't know if any of y'all have ever been to Arkansas, but it is every square inch of that bad boy is filled with trees. So if you're going to glass, you're going to get hopeful with some open areas. We're going to try. We're going to go to some knobs, see if we can glass. If we can't, we're going to look for sign. Water. Find white oaks, acorns, ground cover, staying downwind. Everything you're supposed to do. That's my baby girl. Everything you're supposed to do. Finding trees and trying to see where they've been feeding. They're going to hole up for the winter here in a little bit, so they're trying to find food. And we're going to try to find them while they're finding food. Staying downwind is probably one of the most, not one of the most, the most important thing we got to remember. You can elk hunt, they can smell you when they get closer, but a bear will smell you off half a mile. Done. Out. If you're not staying downwind, you're screwed. And you can drink the scent spray stuff, it ain't gonna help worth a shit. Are we using it? Yeah. Are we spraying down our clothes every morning? Yeah. Are we washing in the laundry? Yeah. Am I using the deodorant? Yeah. The whole works. But if you're not staying downwind, all that's for naught. That's for when you stay downwind and it shifts a little bit and it catches a little bit of your scent and you might get covered up. Not for when you feel like walking with a backwind right into his face. That's what we're not gonna do. So that's the most number one important thing we gotta come on. Bears suck at seeing and hearing. You can be loud. They are the apex predator of the forest, right? So think about it this way: you're hunting a white-tailed deer. They got people. They got things that are hunting them. So they're always, like anytime a branch breaks, anytime anything happens, a bear, they don't give a shit about you. It's king of the castle in this forest, bub. So, being quiet is important when you're like right on top of one, but you're a couple hundred yards off, you're gonna be okay. A little twig break, a little branch scrape, you don't care about you, as long as you're downwind. Seeing is another thing. Their sight isn't the greatest. Now, I'm specifically talking about black bears. I'm not talking about the other bears because I didn't do research on the other bears. I don't have time to do research on the other bears because I'm not going with the other bear hunting. We're all black bear hunting. So black bears, their eyes are not the greatest. So while you can get close, I've seen black bears walk right up to hunters. Clay Newcomb's got a great freaking video out there where a black bear walks right up to him and he's like, oh shit, you're a hunter. Okay. And walks away and he shoots the bear. It's crazy. It's ridiculous. But bears aren't scared of you. Especially black bears. We got to train ourselves on mountain hunting and finding sign. My whole life I've been a whitetail hunter, and those are different signs. Black bear's new to me, so it's a new sign, new eat, new poop. It's gonna be different. I'm excited different. I think it's gonna be harder and easier than I think. I think it's gonna be harder to find bears. I think the hunting and the backpacking is going to be easier than I think. I think the finding the bear and getting to the bear without the bear knowing and then being able to pull the string on the bear is gonna be harder than I think. So it's kind of, I'm sitting on the fence there. I'm ready to go out there and live in the wild. We're gonna hammock it up. We got all of our gear and all that, but I'm confident when the strings pull back. I just need to keep my heart rate under control, and I think we'll be good to go. That's one thing, man. I mean, you can practice all you want. 100 yards, smoke showing into a dinner plate sized area, and your bow could be tuned to the fullest. But when there's a live animal on the other side of that floating green dot, game changes. Heart rate goes up. Boom, 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 pounding. That's what I need to keep under control. I think that's the part that I'm most worried about is getting excited, and getting that string back. And I'm shaking because my heart rate. I gotta get my breathing down. Once I'm in the zone, everything's good. That bear don't stand a chance. I ain't missing. I'm not missing. I'm a little intimidated for the skinning and quartering part. I want to keep a rug. Only because I've only ever done whitetail. And she's been hanging. Which is easy. I mean, this is going to be on the ground. Skinning down the belly. Make sure you don't cut off things that you want to keep. I hear the anatomy of a bear is the most common to a human. So I hear some people get freaked out. So I'm a little intimidated by it. Especially walking up on a bear. I mean, my heart's going to be pounding after the shot. You're damn sure about that. I just got to control it before the shot, but after the shot, I'm walking up on that bad boy. I mean, it's a bear. Let's not. What words I'm looking for here? Let's not downplay this at all. It's a freaking bear. If you're not intimidated by it, you're a wild man. We'll see how that goes if we get one. So. The other thing we got to talk about here is the elephant in the room. Dave and I talked about it a bunch. Are we going for the rug, or are we going for the meat? The answer is yes. Now, am I going for one more than the other? The answer is also yes. I'm going for the experience of hunting a black bear, hands down. Always do. But getting a rug would be sweet. I've heard black bear doesn't taste very good, so I'm a little concerned about that. I don't know that for a fact, but we'll see how it goes. I really want the fat. That's what I want. I'm going to try the meat. I'm going to take the meat home. I'm going to eat the meat, because that's what I believe in. But I want the fat, and I want the rug. So I feel like there's a lot of people out there in that same situation. I kind of like to know what you guys think. What are you going black bear hunting for? Why? Just to do it? Help out the numbers? Get your 7th rug? Or are you going for the meat? Because if you're going for the meat, I need the recipes, because I'm a little scared. Next thing I want to talk about is survival and backpacking. I read Steve Rinnella's book on wilderness skills and survival, and it was amazing. If you don't have it or haven't read it, go read it. It was good. It's important. Where we're going, maybe not so much on the survival aspect, because it's a wilderness area and it's a national forest, but man, we're going to be a few miles from a town. If you're in the Yukon or middle of Colorado, going elk hunting, you better know how to do it. And I'm not saying we don't know how to do it. What happens if one of us gets hurt and we got to survive for a few days before medical assistance comes? You better know how to do it. You better have your EpiPen and your tourniquet and your aspirin. I mean, it's a no-brainer. If you don't have it, you're going to want it and wish you did. Oh man, but it weighs down my pack. And now we're strictly talking medical survival here, okay? it weighs down my pack, and this first aid kit's so heavy, and do I really need these wipes and the scissors? I got a knife and a snake bite kit. No, you don't. Don't take it. I don't care. It'll be in my pack, because I don't want to die, because I had a rattlesnake bite. Or lose my leg, because I had a rattlesnake bite. I'm going to throw the tourniquet on, I'm going to suck the shit out, and we're going to go to the hospital. It's important, people. I'm not going to sit here and tell you what to do, especially on the medical side. There's a bunch of, how to siphon water, what not to eat, always carry a lighter, how to fish with native things. That's like true survival. If you're like Bear Grylls and this shit, I'm talking about surviving until you can get back to civilization, because that's the end goal. We don't live in the 1600s anymore, where we gotta survive, or we're not hunting mammoths and we gotta survive on a daily basis. You're going out there for 7 to 10 days to hunt an animal, and then go back and sleep in your king-size bed with your wife and kids. We gotta leave comfort to go find ourselves. And once we find ourselves, we get to return back to comfort. Okay. In order to return back to comfort after we find ourselves, we have to survive finding ourselves, which can be scary sometimes. And sometimes first aid kit's gonna help you survive. Sometimes a band-aid's gonna help you survive. Tiny little infection on a cut you nicked yourself in when you're skinning that bear. Adios. So, it's important. The possibility of us having to survive, very minimal. We're gonna have cell phone service, I believe. Not that that's gonna be nice to call somebody if we need to survive, but you feel what I'm saying. Anyway, it's gonna be fun, it's gonna be challenging. I've never been backpacking before in hunting. I've been on plenty of hikes and backpacking, but never like having to carry a bow and food and being out at night and all that sort of junk. So it's gonna be a new experience for both David and I. It's gonna be a blast, and man, I can't wait. I can't freaking wait. It's in a few days here, and we're gonna be heading out and going. It's gonna be fun. So, what to pack? Now, this isn't gonna be a 45-minute podcast mantra about this is what you should pack because I know all. There are a few things besides the obvious things that I think that we needed to pack and that you should pack if you're going to be doing this. I'm not going to go over the obvious stuff. You should take your bow. You should take your arrows. You should take a backup release. Duh. You should take food. Duh. First aid kit. Duh. Okay? We're not going to go over that. Okay, I lied. At least 2 releases. If you don't bring a second release on your trip, you're dumb. You're dumb. Bring a second trip. Or bring a second release. Next thing is mark absolute 0 on your sight. So what that means is you go out and shoot. You go out and shoot and you are dead nuts. You're ready to rock. You got those little white tick marks on your elevation and your windage on your sight. Those little white tick marks are going to line up somewhere where you 3 clicks and it lines up on the edge of that piece of metal that it uncovers. What we did, money out to 60 yards. I don't expect to have to shoot a bear at 60 yards, and I frankly don't want to. But 60 yards, I know that I'm dead on. Okay? I took a little fingernail polish, red, and I colored in the white tick mark on the windage and elevation of right next to where it's supposed to line up, like when you click on the deal. So that way when I drop my bow and it hits a rock, I can look at my sight and go, oh man, my sight went 3 clicks to the left. I can click it back to the right and I know I'm still on. Should I shoot my bow before I shoot at an animal? Probably. But if I'm out in the wilderness and don't have the ability to, that's pretty much as good as it's going to get. So that's an important one. Field bow press. If you don't have one, get one. Easy on Amazon. I don't know how much the one I bought was. The easy bow press, probably $40. Something to stash in your pack. It looks like a cable saw with 2 little stops on it. If your string comes off your bow, or you got to retie a D-loop, or your peep sight breaks and you got to put a new peep sight in or something like that, and you're on a 10-day backpacking trip and it's day 2, and you don't have a bow press, it's going to be a long camping trip. That's all I got to say about that one. Make sure you got the right tags. Do your research. Get some paper maps. Okay, you can rely on Onyx and a GPS all you want, but if those things die and you really have to survive and you don't know where you're at, paper map. I got mine on mytopo.com, I think. mytopo.com. Yeah, we'll go with that. I'll look it up, put in the details, but mytopo.com is like $25 for the area that we're going. I got one for the west side, one for the east side. Spent $50, and they're going in the pack. They're lightweight, easy to go. Get them. Let's see, what else is going on here? We're going bear hunting, so we got bear spray. Okay. Let's see here. Oh, look who texted me. Good old Grumpy. That was David. He just texted me. He's supposed to come over so we can pack all this crap because we're leaving in 3 days. So hopefully it's good to go. Let's see here. Tarps. Tarps may seem insignificant, but they're lightweight. You get an 8x8 tarp and throw it in your backpack. You set it on the ground underneath your hammock that way you don't step on all the mud and shit like that when you're hunting. And when you're skinning the animal, you can pull it on top of the tarp and it's all nice and clean. I think I went to Harbor Freight and got 2 8x8 tarps, one for each of our backpacks just in case. And we're talking about spending $8. Alright. What else? Extra batteries for your rangefinder and specialty flashlights. They ain't gonna be AA's or AAA's. There's CR213 XYZ. I don't even know that. I think there's CR2 batteries. Know what they are and get them. Make sure you got good boots. If you don't got good boots, get good boots. Make sure you bring a backup pair of boots. Let's see here. We're taking an extra cooler and I'm just filling it with water for base camp to take showers, clean pots and pans. If you're truck hunting like we are, out of the back of a tent, and you can go out for a few days on a hammock, have food and water that you need to get, and then return back to base camp in a couple days, do that. Fill a deer cooler with water. Trust me. You can drink it if you had to. Boil it. A little red Solo cup in there. Pour it down your back. Wash your cast iron out with it. Gonna want that. Whiskey. Now we ain't drinking on this trip because it takes a lot out of your hike. But I'll tell you what, if there's a bear on the ground and we go back to base camp, there's gonna be a whiskey in the truck. So, whiskey. Seems like an obvious one, but prescription medication. You take it on a daily basis, sits on your bathroom counter, put it in a little baggie and bring it with you. You don't want to be out in the woods and you're like, oh man, I forgot my blood pressure medicine. I hope I don't have a heart attack. Well, yeah, you better hope you're going to sit there for the next 10 days till you can go home. Seems like an easy one, but grab it. I might have said just last thing, but last thing is EpiPen. And I only say EpiPen because I got one through my doctor, and I was like, hey man, I'm going on a backpack trip. I'm not allergic to anything, but I'd hate to get stung by a bee and then, die. It's like, yeah, no problem. Insurance paid for it. It was like $20 to me, copay, and I got 2 EpiPens. Do it. Just asking for it, We're excited, man. We're excited to go. I'm trying to curb my expectations because I feel like my expectations are high. Just because of all the work I put into it, and I don't know. I don't want to get out there and be disappointed because we didn't get a bear, It's not what we're out there to get a bear, but we're out there to have a good time and to hunt. And it'd be called shooting is an overplayed saying, but it'd be called shooting if it was easy, right? We're hunting, okay? I e-scouted for us, and you got to do that. If you're not grabbing on, it's $100 a year for an Onyx membership. You get offline maps, all sorts of information. Do it. Not a sponsor, but wish they were. It's $100 a year, man. If you're gonna do any hunting at all, get it. Okay. Practice, 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 practice with your bow. I play a little golf, and I hate it when you're on like T-box 4 and your buddy comes up to you better than you, and they're like, hey man, try sticking your ass out a little bit more and then swinging like this. Dude, I'm playing golf. I suck. Okay? Let me play golf. Where you stick your ass out and swing a little bit different is in the tee box. And archery is no different. Fling thousands of arrows down the range, at foam, and make sure you know what's going on with your bow. Not someone else's bow, your bow. You need to be able to pull the string back with your eyes closed and know what's going on with your bow. I'm there. That way when you're looking at a bear and your heart's pounding and you can't get your heart under control, which I'm not going to be able to, you don't got to worry about your bow. You know you're lined up. All that knock point. Both eyes open, making sure your peep's lined up. It's all second nature, so you can focus on your surroundings, and when time is right, you can pull easy through that string and get them. When the bear is floating behind your green pin, it's not the time to go, okay, seat in there, put my wrist like this, make sure my arm's no, that's done. That's been done. Get him on sight, pull the string, go get your picture. We gotta keep our head up. Stay hunting, don't get discouraged. That's my last note. We're enjoying the time in the wilderness and we'll get to experience. Harvesting a black bear would be icing on the cake, but the cake is getting to be out in the wilderness with a buddy and enjoying it. So that's what we're gonna do. That's it. That's all I got. That's all I got for you guys. Nice, quick, easy one today. Let me know if you got the trivia question right for the white-tailed deer. I'm about to go over another one, but let me know if you got it right. I'm curious to see how many people knew that. And if you think I'm wrong, let me know. You know, I don't claim to know everything. Let me know if you think I'm wrong. Next podcast is going to be in the field, hopefully after I just smoked a black bear. And David and I are going to do it from a hammock. You're not going to see a video on it, but there'll be a podcast. We're going to talk about our time and experience and everything like that. That'll be coming out on September 27th, that Tuesday, because this one will be coming out that we're doing now on September 20th. So, on to housekeeping. Trivia question for this episode going to be answered at the top of next episode. On average, how many years does a black bear live in the wild in the United States? On average, how many years does a black bear live in the wild in the United States? I'm not taking into account the one at the zoo. I'm not taking into the couple that are down at Baylor University. I'm talking about the one I'm going to go ride after my arrow flies through it. How many years does that black bear live on average? Thanks for listening to another episode of Knocked Up After the Shot. Remember to like and subscribe our channel so you don't miss out on future content, and go like my Instagram, knockedup.outdoors. You get all the new information, all the reels, everything like that, all the bussin' information, as the kids say these days. Again, thanks for listening. We will catch you next week, and hopefully have some awesome content coming out soon on a black bear for you guys. Just remember, be still, don't suck.